All right, let's dive into this. Conquering stubborn fat with keto. We're looking at 5 keto tips to banish stubborn fat today.
Yeah, should be a good one. Lots to unpack.
Definitely. Okay, so keto, it's all about turning your body into like a fat burning machine, right?
Exactly. Like switching fuel sources.
Yeah. Premium fuel.
Yeah,
But it takes time, like 4 to 7 days, right, to get fully keto adapted.
right. That's the key. 4 to 7 days for your body to really become efficient at using fat for fuel.
Patience. Got it. Okay, so then let's jump into the tips. The first one kind of surprised me. Don't use exogenous ketone supplements.
Yeah, a lot of people think those are like a magic bullet.
Right, like a shortcut.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But they don't actually teach your body how to make ketones on its own.
So your body needs to learn to do it itself.
Right. You got to go through that adaptation process.
Okay, that makes sense. But what about like after you're keto adapted? Do they ever make sense?
The guy does say if you slip up, like you have some cake at a party or something, it could help you get back into ketosis a little faster.
Yeah. A little boost. Okay, interesting.
But it's not a substitute for just, being consistent with the diet.
Right, okay. No magic bullet. All right, tip number 2. HIIT. High intensity interval training. I'm a fan, but the guide has a warning.
Yes. Especially during that initial adaptation phase.
Oh, right. You don't want to jump right into intense workouts.
Exactly. It can actually make the keto flu worse.
Keto flu, the brain fog, the fatigue.
Yeah, all that. And intense exercise can amplify it. Better to ease into it.
So slow and steady during that first week. Then bring on the HIIT.
Exactly. Once you're keto adapted, HIAT can be super effective. The guide says twice a week is a good goal.
And why is that? What's the science behind it?
Well, when you're in ketosis, your body is primed to use fat for fuel. And HIAT, with those short bursts of intensity, just taps right into that.
Like a fat-burning turbo boost.
Exactly.
All right, tip number 3, fasting. I'll admit, this one always sounds a little intimidating to me.
Yeah, I get that. But it can be really powerful, especially when combined with keto.
So how does it work? How does it fit in?
Well, it's all about shifting your body into fat-burning mode. Fasting basically forces your body to use its stored fat for energy.
Makes sense. And there are different ways to do it, right?
Right. The guide talks about intermittent fasting,
Mm.
like the 168 method.
Where you fast for 16 hours and eat within an 8-hour window.
Exactly. And then there are longer fasts, like going 24 hours without food.
So it's about finding what works for you.
Yeah, finding what you can stick with. It's a tool, not a punishment.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. Now, tip number 4 sounds pretty intense. 0 carb days.
It does sound extreme, but remember, keto is already low carb.
Yeah, 20 to 50 grams of carbs per day.
Right, so 0 carb days, just take it a step further. The guide suggests 3 to 4 days a week.
And that just pushes you even deeper into fat burning mode.
Exactly. You're minimizing glucose, so your body has to rely on fat.
Wow. Okay. But you wouldn't do that forever, right?
No, it's more of a short-term strategy.
Yeah, like a boost.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Last but not least, tip number 5, strategic cardio.
This one's all about timing.
Oh, tell me more.
Instead of doing cardio by itself, the guide says do it after weight training.
Interesting. So you lift weights first, use up your glycogen stores, then do cardio.
Right. That way, when you do cardio, your body is more likely to burn fat for fuel.
Smart. Okay, I'm starting to see how these tips all work together. It's like a fat-burning puzzle.
Yeah, they all fit together to maximize your results.
Yeah.
But we're just scratching the surface here. There's so much more to uncover.
I can't wait.
It's important to remember, though, that even without these extra tips, keto is already a powerful tool for fat loss.
Right. If you're doing keto right, you're going to see results.
Absolutely. And the guide even gives a time frame, 3 to 4 weeks.
Oh, wow. That's pretty quick.
Yeah, you can start to see noticeable changes in that time frame.
Okay, so it's not like a miracle overnight thing. But
Right, it's about consistent effort, sustainable change.
that's a good point. It's easy to get caught up in wanting quick results.
Definitely. But that brings up something interesting. The guide focuses on banishing fat quickly. But what about the long term?
Yeah, what happens after you hit those initial goals?
Right. How do you make keto a part of your life, not just a temporary thing?
It's like you want the quick win, but then...
You got to think about the bigger picture, the long game.
Okay, that makes sense. So how do you do that? How do you make keto a lifestyle?
Well, there are a few things to consider. One is blood sugar regulation.
Oh, interesting. How does that tie in?
Well, when you cut carbs on keto, your body starts using ketones for energy instead of glucose.
Right, right.
And that can have a big impact on blood sugar levels.
So for someone with diabetes, for example.
It can be really beneficial. It can help stabilize blood sugar.
Wow, okay. So it's not just about weight loss.
It's about overall health. And there's even research on keto and brain health.
Brain health, really?
Yeah.
I-
Ketones can actually be a really good fuel source for the brain.
Like a brain boost.
It's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Some studies show it might improve cognitive function, protect against certain diseases.
Wow, I'm learning so much.
There's always something new to discover. But it's important to be realistic. Keto isn't all sunshine and rainbows. There are challenges.
Right, like what? What are some of the downsides?
Well, we talked about the keto flu.
Yeah, the initial symptoms.
Those can be tough for some people. But there are ways to manage them.
Oh, like what?
Staying hydrated is key,
Mm-hmm.
and making sure you're getting enough electrolytes.
Electrolytes, so like sports drinks and stuff.
Those can work, but they're also natural sources, like bone broth.
Okay, good to know. And easing into the diet gradually can help too, right?
Definitely. Another thing to be mindful of is nutrient deficiencies.
Oh, right. You're cutting out a lot of food groups.
Exactly. So it's important to make sure you're getting enough fiber and maybe consider supplementing with certain vitamins and minerals.
So it's not just about eating like all the bacon you want.
No. Keto should be about nutrient-dense foods. Leafy greens, avocados, nuts, healthy fats.
Makes sense. And I guess keto isn't for everyone either, right?
You're right. People with certain medical conditions should definitely talk to their doctor before trying keto.
Okay, good point. So it's really about personalized nutrition.
Exactly. It's about figuring out what works best for you.
Okay, so we've talked about the benefits, the challenges, but what about sustainability? How do you make keto a long-term thing?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? There's no one-size-fits-all answer. But there are some things you can do.
Like what? Give me some tips.
Well, one approach is to gradually increase your carb intake once you hit your goal weight.
Oh, interesting. So not going back to a high-carb diet, but...
Just finding a balance. See how your body responds.
Okay, so it's a bit of trial and error.
In a way, yeah. And it's important to focus on building healthy habits.
Like what kind of habits?
Meal prepping, cooking at home, finding keto-friendly recipes you enjoy.
So setting yourself up for success.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of community.
Oh, like finding other people who are doing keto?
Yeah. Sharing recipes, supporting each other, it can make a big difference.
That's a good point. And I guess mindset is important too, right?
Absolutely. Be patient with yourself, celebrate your wins.
Okay, that's good advice. But let's be real, what about slip-ups? Like, you have a pizza night? Or you eat some ice cream. Does that mean you failed?
No way. Slip-ups happen. It's normal. The key is to get back on track.
So don't beat yourself up about it.
Exactly. It's about progress, not perfection.
I like that. You know, the guide actually talks about the mental side of keto.
Oh, yeah. What does it say?
It talks about mental clarity, focus.
Right, because keto can affect your brain chemistry.
We talked about that. Ketones as brain fuel.
Exactly. But it also means paying attention to your mood, managing stress.
Stress can definitely lead to overeating.
For sure. The guide even suggests things like meditation or yoga.
Oh, wow. So it's like a whole body approach.
Yeah, it's about taking care of your mind and body.
Okay, I'm really starting to see how deep this goes. It's not just a diet, it's...
A lifestyle, a way of thinking about food and health. It really is. It's about making choices that align with your goals.
Yeah, and understanding how those choices impact your body.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And being equipped to handle the challenges that come up.
Because there will always be challenges, right? With any lifestyle change.
Right, absolutely. But that's what we've been talking about today.
Yeah.
Giving you the tools, the knowledge.
Yeah, those 5 tips are a great starting point.
And we've dug into the science a bit, talked about the long-term picture.
I feel like we could talk about this for hours.
Me too. There's always more to learn.
That's the fun part, right? Discovering new things.
Exactly. And the more you learn about keto, the better equipped you'll be to make it work for you.
So for our listeners who are ready to give keto a try, what's the most important thing to remember?
I would say don't be afraid to experiment.
Experiment.
Yeah, try different things, see what works best for you. Tweak those 5 tips we talked about.
So it's not like a set in stone thing.
Right. It's about finding what works for your body, your lifestyle.
It's like we've given you the map, but you get to choose your own adventure.
Exactly. And remember, it's a journey, not a race.
That's such good advice. So much pressure to see results quickly.
But it's about making sustainable changes, finding what you can stick with.
And enjoying the process, right?
Definitely. Keto can be fun. It's about discovering new foods, new ways of eating.
And feeling your best.
Exactly. So, to everyone out there, happy ketoing.
And keep diving deep. We'll see you next time.